the next question.
Okay.
What do businesses need to do to start e-invoicing?
Okay, if you want a vendor neutral starting point, then the ATO website's a good place to get some high level info into what PEPPOL's all about, why Australia adopted in the first place, that kind of stuff. It's also a good place to get updates on things like how the adoption's going and updates on the mandates and things like that. Once you're comfortable with the technology and the benefits that can be achieved through e-invoicing, you then need to have a talk to your existing solution providers and find out what their plans are in this area. If you have APay, then talk to ACMO. If you have, MYOBXO, then talk to your MYOB partner. If you have Tech1 or Oracle or Sage or any one of the dozens of other solution partners, then talk to the people you're already working with. If they have a plan around PEPPOL, that's great. If that plan works for you and it matches your time frames, that's even better. However, if they don't have a plan, or if their plan doesn't work for you, or even worse, they don't even know what the heck you're talking about, then you need to find somebody who knows a bit more about this stuff. Stalk over happy to talk with anyone, irrespective of whether they're a company, a government agency, software developer, solution vendor, or heck, even our competitors. We talk to them sometimes too. We're happy to give help and advice to anyone that wants it. I think, though, that one of the biggest challenges at the moment is that many people have this kind of mistaken impression that implementing e-invoicing has to be this large-scale IT project that's going to take months and months to complete, and that, of course, it must have a huge price tag to match. But that simply isn't true. For some companies, it might simply be an education process to learn more about what they could already be doing. So, for example, Xero users can already send e-invoices now, but they just might not realize it and might just need a little bit of education to learn how to do it. For other companies, again, depending on factors like your systems and your volumes, it could be more comparable to something like setting up bank feeds into your ERP. If we look at something like Microsoft Dynamics Business Central as an example, it can already create and ingest the European formats for the PEPPOL e-invoice, and it just needs a mature access point service like store codes to adjust it to the AUNZ specifications and put the transaction through the network. Certainly, there are many organizations where this could potentially be a significant project, and those organizations tend to be larger ones that are using multiple systems, or maybe they might have dated ERPs. I guess one of the other things to bear in mind is whether what you're doing is only about enabling e-invoicing, or whether e-invoicing is a factor in a larger project. So, for example, if your business has traditionally relied on manual accounts payable processes and are considering implementing an AP solution like APay, then PEPPOL is only a small piece of that project, and I would argue that you should consider e-invoicing more as a feature of a solution, as opposed to as being a self-contained solution in and of itself. So yeah, it's getting started might be a little bit different for everybody, but I think the first and foremost is to learn a bit more, speak to your partners, and then just be clear about what it is you're trying to achieve.